Right, I got a little short video going on today. Had a question about the mini fairing I put on the bike about because I was cussing and throwing things when I was trying to put it on there. It's a little hard to do. I'm not going to take it back off to show it because that would be a real pain in the butt, but I will show you a brief video of the instructions, and then I'll show you on the bike where the screws are located so that you can see what I'm talking about. Here are the two brackets that come with it. This number 2 bracket right here mounts above the headlight. It actually mounts on the bike. You take out the 2 screws that hold the headlight in, and there's 2 small spacers and 2 longer screws that mount this bracket to the motorcycle. This bracket mounts to the back of the fairing, as you see in this picture here. Once you put the screws in that and mount that bracket to the fairing, and you have the other bracket already mounted to the bike, then that whole thing goes up like so. But here's the tricky part. You pretty much have to take your center, your speedometer and all that, take those 2 screws out, take it off, because here are the 2 screws at the top. See if that thing will focus a little better, that hold that fairing on, and they have to be put in from back here through the wiring harness below the light so that you don't drop your tool or your... I had a socket with a little Torx bit on the end of it, and I dropped that sucker twice. One time it got hung up down in here behind the light, and I played hell getting it out. And then the other 2 are in there behind that bracket. You see that screw that's shining my light on? Put it right up in there close to it. There's 1 on each side of that. They're also a little bit difficult to get to. So it looks good on there, and I like it real well so far. It just is a little bit of work to put it on there. That's all I got to say. Second project I want to show you all about. You already saw my new Zard exhaust. One little issue I found with it, if you're in the market to buy this and you have a setup like mine, the heat blowing out of the top muffler will melt the housing on your tail light. Someone put a heads up on my video about that, and they were absolutely correct. And what I'm going to do short term is wrap this with some heat tape and paint it black so it won't be too noticeable, to keep it from melting that tail light till I come up with another plan. Also, I wanted to try these exhausts with the baffles out. So here's how that works. These baffles look like this. These are what the baffles look like in the back of the exhaust. It sticks up in the exhaust like so, and they have a snap ring that holds them in, but they are also tack welded in one spot on each one. I'm guessing where, if your snap ring were to break or come out, the baffle would stay in. So here's what you have. That baffle is in there like that, tack welded, and then this snap ring goes around it. Same thing on the top. The baffle's like that. It had a tack weld right there, and then a snap ring holding it in. You can, if you decide that you don't like the sound with the baffles out, they're easy enough to put back in just by putting them in with the snap ring. You won't have the tack weld, and obviously if you lose a snap ring, you're going to lose a baffle, but I think they're probably staying there pretty good. It was a little tough to get that snap ring out of there, and even tougher to grind that. I took a Dremel with a straight metal cutting bit to grind that little tack weld out. It took me about 20 minutes, wasn't too bad. So I will fire this puppy up now and let you hear it, and then you can play the previous video I had and compare it and see what you think. Here we go. So that's it for today's projects. I thought y'all might enjoy that. I'm going to have to take it for a ride and see if I like it, and see if it's noisy. I figure that if it's too noisy, I could always shorten up these baffles a little bit and put them back in and modify the sound to suit me, or I could put them back in and run it stock. But I wanted to try it with the baffles out, and when I get a chance to ride it and see how noisy it is cruising around town and on the expressway, I will let you know. I appreciate you watching this video. Hope this was informative for some of you, and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good day.